They say every town has its secrets. Some hide in locked basements, others echo through the woods at night. But in Red Hollow, the secret walks on two legs, and it smiles. Nestled among fog-drenched peaks and gnarled pines, Red Hollow was a town few had heard of, and even fewer had visited. One gas station, one church, and a single crumbling main road that led in and never seemed to lead out. Locals spoke in hushed tones. Old-timers never wandered after dark, and kids were told not to look out their windows at night, but no one ever said why. When Emily Carson, a 28-year-old freelance documentary filmmaker, arrived in Red Hollow, she wasn't chasing monsters. She was chasing rumors, urban legends, old folktales. That was her niche. Red Hollow had piqued her interest after a string of online posts. If you see him smiling, it's already too late. Don't wave back. Never open the door when he knocks. Even if it's your mother's voice. She thought it was just regional creepypasta. She was wrong. Emily checked into the only place available Hillshade Motel, run by a shriveled woman named May who looked as if she'd been carved from bark. "Don't film after dark," May rasped, eyes milky and unblinking. "You don't like cameras?" Emily laughed politely. "Who doesn't?" "The one who walks," May said, then turned away. "You'll find out." The townsfolk were tight-lipped. Old men stared too long. Children crossed the street to avoid her. The town gave the sense of a place suspended in time and terrified of something invisible. But one man talked. Jude Callahan, mid-40s mechanic, had lost his teenage daughter 2 years prior. They found her bones down by the creek. Smiling so wide her jaw broke, they said coyotes. "I say that's a damn lie." Emily asked him to explain. "You want to know about the smiling man? You record this, you best never come back." He lit a cigarette, hands trembling, then told her the story. They say the smiling man used to be one of them, a preacher named Reverend Cyrus Dunn, back in the 1800s. He ran the Red Hollow Chapel, charismatic, convincing, and cruel. Behind the sermons were whispers of blood rituals, children gone missing, wives never returning from cleansing ceremonies. When the townsfolk found the bones in his cellar, they dragged him to the forest and burned him alive. But he didn't scream. He smiled, said he'd come back, said his smile would be the last thing we'd ever see. That night, they say the fire wouldn't die. The smoke twisted into faces. And ever since, when fog rolls in thick, the smiling man walks again. Emily dismissed it all as local myth. She set up her camera by the chapel ruins at dusk. She wanted atmosphere. Fog crept in like spilled milk over black rocks. At 9:13 p.m., she heard laughter. Not joyous, not human, high-pitched, drawn out, as if someone was trying to remember how to laugh. She turned around, no one there. When she reviewed the footage, she saw a shape behind her, slender, too tall, grinning. That night at the motel around 2 a.m., there was a knock at the door. "Emily," came her mother's voice. "Let me in, sweetheart. I forgot my key." Her blood froze. Her mother had died 3 years ago. She backed away slowly, not daring to speak. It's me. Don't be silly. Just open the door." Then the voice changed. Still her mother's, but warped. Too high, too cheerful. "I'm smiling, baby." "Aren't you happy to see me?" The knob jiggled. Then silence. When she looked through the peephole, nothing. But on the ground in a smear of fog, bare, wet footprints. Facing the door, Emily fled to the town library the next morning, pale and shaking. The local historian, Glenda Rickles, was waiting. "We thought you'd be gone by now," Glenda said. "They always leave after the smile." Glenda handed her a file. Dozens of cases, people who disappeared from Red Hollow. Many were found days later with snapped jaws, grinning skulls, and sometimes their eyes still moist. Emily found a pattern. The smiling man always came in 3 signs. 1, a voice you know. 2, a smile in the dark. 3, a knock you shouldn't answer. She had 2 out of 3. She decided to leave, but it was too late. As Emily packed, she noticed the mirror fog up despite no hot water. Words began to appear on the glass. You looked at me. She turned to run, but the TV flickered on. The screen showed live footage of her. In the room, at that moment, she wasn't alone. Behind her, the smiling man stood. 8 feet tall, no eyes, no nose. Just an enormous, grotesque grin stretching ear to ear. Skin pulled back, muscles exposed, as if he'd grinned through his own face. She screamed and ran, but every door led back into the same room. The walls stretched, melted, reformed. Reality was unraveling. Then silence, and a final knock. 3 weeks later, Jude found the camera on the motel bed. Emily was gone. The footage showed her final hours, though the tape corrupted each time the smiling man appeared. But in one frame, he was smiling straight into the lens, behind her. Then static. Her body was never found. Locals say Red Hollow is quieter now. Fewer outsiders come. The forest feels heavier. But if you ever hear a voice you know, or see a grin in the mist, don't wave. And for God's sake, never open the door. This was the story of the smiling man of Red Hollow. But legends never really end. They only wait for you to believe in them.